everyone, it's Keren here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting video where I created a project with a challenge. So a few of us who attended Creativation got this VIP swag bag that was really amazing, had a lot of amazing products from so many different sponsors at the show. And we decided that we'll take a few of those products and all use the same products to create videos and a project related to those products. Now the challenge is that we have to use all the products, and we chose a few of them, so it will be a little bit more challenging. And what you can do is hop along between each one of our videos and you can see all the amazing projects that people created with the same exact materials, which is the challenge. Because we're digital content creators, that's why we were able to get this VIP bag with so many different products, and we chose a few of those. For example, the scissors from Westcott. These are amazing. They're so sharp. Hero Arts gave us this stamp that looks like an iris. Then there is the iZink diamond paint, which you've seen me use already and is just utterly amazing. Then Joggles also donated a few products, and we grabbed one of their products, which is these really cute artsy girls, Charmz, and the art parts from Joggles. The Crafters Workshop also donated stuff, so we used one of their mediums. You could use any medium from their jars. They had a lot of jars in there, so any medium from there would be good. And I picked this one, which is an antique gold modeling paste. Then there is a Sakura pen. This is a Pigma pen. It's a black one. Paper Rose Studios, which is an amazing company from Australia that has stamps and dies, also donated an amazing double die that layers onto each other. So we picked that one as well. And a glue, a Super Tice glue. So these are the products that we're going to use. And you can hop along to the next video on the bottom of my description area, or at the end of this video I'll link everything. Now all the products are linked below in the description area, and you can just go ahead and hop along. There's a lot of prizes to be won, including a prize that I'm hosting. I'm giving away something for one of the winners. It will be something from my swag bag that I want to pass it forward, so as if to make you feel as if you were at Creativation. So please, all you have to do is leave me a comment below in the description area and subscribe to my channel. I mean, it's not necessary to subscribe to my channel, but it's the only way you will find out if you're the winner, because you will be able to be notified about that. The best thing to do is notify yourself in the little bell beside my name under my channel, and that way you'll notify every time I'm posting a videos and when I post the winners for this video as well. For the other giveaways from all the other sponsors, all you have to do is leave comments on the different videos, and we'll choose random winners from different videos. So the more comments you leave on the different channels, the more chances you have of winning, because we will pick randomly for each one of the channels. And there's quite a few prizes to be won, including any personal prizes that we give away from our own channels, which is what I'm giving as well. And the other rule that we had is that we could use any substrate, and I'm going to use this substrate, which is a Joggles tag, which is 140 Strathmore watercolor paper, and it fits perfectly into all the art journal videos that I use. So this fits perfectly into the disc bound journal that I use all the time, and I will just add it later, and I'll show you at the end how I add this into the journal. So this will be my substrate, and I'll use this at the bottom. You could use, anybody could use any type of paper, chipboard, box, anything you want. You could create anything you wanted with these materials. So let's get started. This challenge was a little bit challenging for me, if I have to say it, because it was really hard for me to use very limited amount of products. Even though we could use tools, for example, to stamp this, I could stamp this with black ink or a stamping tool, but I just really had to think out of the box because I really didn't know how to combine all these products. The first thing I did is I took these two dies, and what I did is I wanted to make them into a stencil. So I went and cut them out of a thick board. It's almost like chipboard, but or cardboard. It's right in between. It's almost like coaster board and what they use to make coasters. So it's a little bit thicker than paper or cardstock and thinner than chipboard because otherwise it's hard to cut. So what I wanted to do is use this for the background using the antique gold paste and also the diamond glitter paint. Now, if you think about stencils, they would work differently than with dies. The reason why is because you're going to be using the negative space. So for these two dies, you have the two dies that kind of overlap on top of each other, and you can use two different colors to do so. The way I did in this project, so I use the white as the larger die and then the black on top as a smaller die, and this is how they layer on top of each other. You can watch this video on my YouTube channel below. So in order to use it as a stencil, I figure that I have to use it backwards. And the way I wanted to use it is more like on my mixed media style. I did not want to create a card. I wanted to create something that it represents me as an artist. So I thought that that would be perfect for that. So to do that, I would have to use this stencil first, and then to layer it, this would be the second one because the spaces are smaller, and you'll see what I mean. However, I did not want to use all of this. I want to use only partial stencil area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Westcott scissors and I'm going to cut this. I want to kind of get the corner over here of how I want it. So I might even like cut this in half, but I don't want to cut it exactly in half. And it might not come out perfectly once I cut it, and that's okay. Some places might not work, might separate, and I'm going to be careful with that. You could also use the whole stencil, just partially use it, and that works as well too. So there we go. I'm going to use this part of the stencil up here and this part of the stencil down here like this. Now to make sure that nothing moves, I'm going to use some purple tape just to keep it in place. That way I ensure that nothing moves and I can do the stencil properly. Thinking back, I should have maybe just kept the stencil all the same, like as a whole. And I might do that for the second layer. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to get my silicone brush and I'm going to apply this on top of the stencil. I'm going to go against the grain. That way I get the pattern that I want. This paste is really, really great. It's pretty thick, so the chances that it runs under the stencil might be minimal, which is great for me because I don't want that to happen. Now let me do the top. Now the nice thing is that these leftover pieces I could easily include in a different journal. So now I'm going to lift the stencil up. And voila. Pretty good, not bad. I mean, it ran a little bit underneath here, but that's okay. That's part of the process. I always say it doesn't really matter if the stencils ran. You can just go with the flow on those ones. This one came out better. Okay, so there you go. So it kind of looks like I have a half stencil, which is nice, which was what I was going for, but I guess I should have just used it the other way. So now, as I said, I can let this dry, and then I could use this in another type of journal. So I'm going to let this dry with the tape and everything, and then remove the tape easily afterwards. Now for the second one, it's going to be different, but first I need to dry this layer. So I'm going to use the heat tool to dry it. Okay, for the second layer, I'm going to use the diamond paint. This is iZink Diamond Paint by Aladine. It's a really amazing paint from France, and it's super, super glittery. And I'm going to use the second layer. Now, as I said before, I could easily try to line this up and cut it the same way. So I could line these two together and basically go with my scissors and cut all around so it would line up perfectly. But I could also do what I should have done from the beginning, which is use the full stencil but only stencil half of it. So I am going to do that now. I'm going to line this up, and because they're different sizes, it's going to be a little bit smaller, so you're going to see that really nice paste underneath with the green glitter diamond on top. Again, I'm going to secure this as well. This one is a little bit thicker, so it might be a little bit easier to use. And then I'm going to move the stencil basically to the top. I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to add it on top of this so it's easier to clean. Isn't it beautiful? How beautiful is that? And I'm going to use the same silicone brush to apply it. So I'm going to start here and carefully apply. Can't wait to see how this comes out. Now, I know that I experiment a lot. That's part of what I like doing. And I like experimenting and trying it out. And sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay. I don't mind. I just continue working and trying to find other solutions for it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create the flower on top as well, even though I don't have the background there. So it will be very layered. That's what I thought to do. Let's see if it pans out and it comes out the way I want it. And even if it doesn't, you know, it will still be mixed media, so that's okay. I try not to panic about things like that, even if sometimes I might not like the results. Okay, let's see. Now it's time of the big reveal. Ooh, I like this. I like this. That's very, very cool. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing at the top. You know what? I'm going to have to dry this side first so it doesn't muck up. So I'm going to dry this, and the nice thing about this paste or paint is that it dries really, really quickly. And it's super, super glittery, and it looks so good on. Now I'm going to do the top just because I want to do both sides, but you see how the stencil would have gone on top? And there we go. There's the second part. So it looks really cool. I really love this. And as I said, I could cover this whole thing in green and then match it up with this one, and it would create a different layer. But right now, that's for another day, and I'm going to save these that I could use them for a different project. Now I have a little bit of green left over, and what I want to do is I just want to add this a little bit on the edges to just kind of hide this area where it's all white. I don't want it to look so white. There we go. And maybe some on this other side. And then it kind of blends it all in. So now I have an amazing, cool background. Super, super simple to do. Just want to get whatever I have left over here and add it to this. Now this paint can also be added with a paintbrush as well. So it's super easy to use. So it could be added as a paste, or it could be added as paint with an actual paintbrush. I'm just going to heat set it as well, and then I'm going to go to the next layer. So another cool tip that I thought to share with you before I start working on my artsy girl is that you can use the inside of the stencil as well that you created. So the little bits and pieces you could incorporate into any type of art journal. You can create the flower again, so that would be cool as well. I might even use, I don't know, would it look really cool if she had like a flower head? That would be interesting as well. The cool thing about the Artgirlz charms is that they come with all the little pieces. They're made out of metal, which is really cute. And then Joggles has this art parts that you can use with them. So these are like watercolor art parts, the same material as this, and they're laser cut, and this is the dress. And I picked 3 of them. The package comes with a bunch of them. I just picked 3, and what I want to do is I want to glue them one to the other. So I'm going to use this glue that I have here just to do one to the other. That's the easiest way to do. That way it's thicker and it kind of matches the thickness of the charm, because the charm is pretty thick and I don't want the paper to be so thin, the dress itself. So I'm going to do 3 layers of this, and then I thought I could paint this with the green glitter. However, what I thought is that if I put the green glitter, it is going to get lost. So I thought to take a different color of the glitter. And I know it's a little bit of cheating because I'm only allowed to use one of them, but I'm going to use 2 colors of this glitter just because you really can't see the difference in the color if I add the green now. However, before I add the other color, I want to use the black marker a little bit. This will help bring in a little bit of design to it. So I thought to make some cute things on the dress, maybe some lines. So when I add it, it might show underneath. So maybe the girl has some lines on her dress. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. I'm not sure if it will show underneath. Then I can also add some of the black here and highlight some things. So black always adds like cool effects to things. And I could also paint inside to change it from white to black. And the nice thing is that if I made any mistakes, I could always erase them. So you see here, this looks really, really cool. So the black really helps me hide any mistakes that I made with either one of the mediums that I used. And it also outlines everything, and it kind of takes away some of the whiteness of the background. So I like that as well. Actually, it makes it look much better. I almost want to paint the whole thing in black. Here I made mistakes and I want to rectify them. So I can fix them by doing this. I can pretend that the lines are there. This is actually a really good marker. I like this. It goes on any type of medium. So I'll list this below as well. I really like this. Okay, so let me go here as well. Let's do the other side now. I wonder if now that I'm putting the black, I wonder if I use the green again, will it still be okay and I don't have to cheat with another color? We'll see. We'll find out soon enough once I finish the black. And it's not going to be perfect because nothing is really perfect. That's what I always say. If you want perfection, then you can't do mixed media. Mixed media is for the non-perfect soul. And I feel like I'm non-perfect. So it is definitely for me. I am definitely not perfect in any way. This is very, very, very nice. Okay. So I wonder if I should finish coloring it all in black. I think it will look so cool. And since I can't use any black paint, I'm going to use it like this. So the rest is going to be black, and I think it's going to show those charms better. I mean, now looking back, I wish I would have done the whole stencil like this, the whole area like this. It would have been really cool. But I already did it like the other way, so I'm not going to change it. And that's okay. Look, it's a marker, so I can easily change the whole perspective of things. And basically that's it. This is very, very interesting because now I can add this lady on top and you'll be able to see her, which I couldn't before. That's very neat. Okay, so the question is to go with a different color or to go with the same color. Okay, once I put them here, you can really see her. So that's very cool. But I think if it's all green, she's gonna like blend into the background. So let's use a little bit of this color It's a light blue just for the dress. That's basically all I want. And I also wanted to add this flower thing on top of her head. So let's see. We're going to paint this. So I want to show you how cool it is. You can paint this glitter on top as well. It's basically a paint. So I'm not sure how much the lines will show. Maybe a little bit, depending on how thin I put this on. Okay, I kind of covered the lines. Maybe the lines can go on top after. But I think I like it like this. It's okay. Now the same thing with this. I'm going to just paint the little crown. And I'm just going to dry these up. So you can see, for example, how glittery it is. It's hard to see, I guess, but you can see how glittery it is. And it will really stand out over here. Okay, so let me dry these up. And then we're going to glue them to the background. Okay, now it's time to glue these. And I'm going to use the same glue to do that. Let's start with the crown. So I kind of center her. Oh, wait, no, before the crown, I'm going to put these on top. So first we're going to do these. Because I thought they would look really cool. And it's okay if it's a little bit sticking out of the tag, because this tag will go into a different album. So it's all good. Now I think I'm going to put the face in the middle here. And then the crown on top. Okay, there we go. Now the dress. Now let's see. It doesn't matter which way the hands go. Oh. Okay, so that's the little girl. And now all I have left is to use is that stamp. So I thought that what I would do is I would grab the sentiment from that stamp. I feel like this is missing stuff, and like I could have used other things to embellish it, but I can't use anything else, and I can't come up with any other ideas of how to use the same things. I have like little pieces, bits of this. I wonder if they should go, if they kind of balance things here. Maybe I should do that. I should use these to balance things out, because it looks kind of weird when it's not balanced. Okay. Maybe I will use these. That's what I should do. So there is that. If I do that, it kind of balances the page. And that is sometimes needed. Yeah, I think it kind of needs this here. So what I'm going to do, and sometimes this happens when I'm creating, I tend to go back and do other things. So I'm going to color these also with some of this paint and add them to the background. I think it will make things balanced a little bit more. So this is what I meant. You can use little pieces of anything to basically put into your art journal. I just felt that the lady was kind of in the air there standing, and there was just nothing grounding it. And I just looked weird. So any pieces that I can use to do that, that would be good. So let me dry this. While I was painting these and letting them dry, I had another idea, and it's to use these leftover pieces from the stencil. And I thought it would make it a little bit more regal if I added them underneath. So while this is still wet, because the glue hasn't dried, I think I'm going to add them underneath and see how it looks. I think it will look very interesting. Yeah, you see? And all I did is just basically use the scissors to cut the pieces and having more pieces of this. So let's see if I can do anything with the leftover pieces. So maybe something on her dress or something like that, or even like this. That would be cool. Okay, hold on. Let's see what I can do with her. She would look so much more regal this way. And I love adding layers, so this would be perfect. Yeah, that's cool. It adds a little bit more character to this person. And now I'm just going to add these pieces here. So I had it here, and I had one over here, and just one, I think, over here. I think it looks very cool. Okay, let me glue these pieces, and then I'll put the sentiment. So finally, I ended up stamping one of the sentiments from the stamp. It's called "You Are One to Admire," and I think this message is nice to give to a friend, but also sometimes to make somebody feel about themselves. I mean, many of us don't feel that we deserve to get admired by others, whether it is in the art world or in our personal lives. And I think it's a very important message for everyone that they should feel admired by their spouses, by their children, by their friends, co-workers, etc. So this is a very important message. It might seem a little bit as if I am thinking too much of myself, but this is my own journal and I'm allowed to put what I want on it. And truthfully, everybody should feel this way. Everybody should be admired at least by one or two people, if not by a lot. So that's really important as well. So I really like my little girl. I admire her a lot. I think she has personality. I think if I had a chance to add more things to this that would kind of balance things out would be good. But right now, I'm just keeping it this way. I mean, I actually thought to do something with this paste. Maybe, hold on, I'll show you what I mean. Let's see if it works. Just to use the back of a paintbrush. And yeah, I guess that would work. Just to kind of blend in everything to the background. No, I think that's it. I think just on those, just little circles. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so I think that's it. Now I want to show you how I'm going to put this back inside my journal. So I have this art journal that has a lot of tabs in it. This is my 8x10 disc-bound art journal from Joggles, and it's a tab journal, and I started working in it. And you can, the nice thing about it is that you can put different things inside of it. So you can put, for example, circular ones, and then you can also put a tag, which is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to add the tag right about here, just because I want to. And it's so easy to just put it in. I'm going to click it in to the tabs, and you're good to go. And now it's part of my journal. And I can just flip it inside here. But I hope you liked my really different and exciting art journal page today. It was more like an art journal tag. And I hope you enjoyed the products that we used in our VIP challenge. And thank you so much for all the sponsors, not only the ones that gave us products at Creativation, but also the ones that are sponsoring the giveaways, which are basically some of the products that we're using today. The companies are sponsoring prizes from that as well. So just leave a comment on any of the videos. The more videos you comment, the more chances you have to win a prize. And there's a lot of really good prizes. And for my video, you do need to leave a comment and I will pick a winner as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. And now hop along to the next video in the challenge. Thank you so much and have an amazing day. Bye.